Hey guys, and welcome to a update video of sorts. At least that's what I'll be calling it. There's a little bit. It's more so a video about my thoughts on recent, I suppose, events with what's been going on my end and whatnot. So, I didn't upload any Let's Play parts to my Metal Gear Let's Play last weekend because I was testing multiplayer recordings. Like I was playing Ghost of Tsushima with a friend, and I wanted to try to test things out and record our gameplay and voice chat together. I was using our sorry, this isn't scripted. This is sort of a spur of the moment type deal. I usually have bullet points to like get my points across, but yeah, I was using my setup here with OBS, my microphone and whatnot to try to record our gameplay together. However, I couldn't quite capture his voice or anything like that. I couldn't figure it out, so I was like, all right, screw it. I'll try using the PS4's share function to record all of it, because I do know how to get the voice chat and gameplay off by doing it that way. Which I guess, alright, that's how tongue twisted. That's how I'll do it from here on if I'm recording any multiplayer gameplay on my PS4. At least until I can figure out how to record off OBS and everything else here. Maybe not. I don't know how things will turn out. But anyways, yeah, that's what happened last weekend. But what else happened last weekend, and probably the main reason why I'm making this video here, is pretty much discussing my channel and what I plan on doing with it, and my thoughts on Sony here, because essentially the breaking news here is that Sony's PlayStation 3 store, like online store, as well as the PSP and the PS Vita, they're going to be closing this summer. So PS3 is closing July 2nd, along with PSP, I believe, and the Vita is closing in August, if I remember correctly. Either way, yeah, they're closing this summer. So it's inevitable that this was going to happen. Like I figured that is just a matter of time. So fair enough. However, my main problem, along with something else that I know a lot of people agree with, is the handling of PlayStation classics from PlayStation 1, 2, and I suppose 3. Those games will not be transferred to current PlayStation Store network, so you're not going to find any of these games on PS4 or PS5. Which, yeah, I'm pretty pissed about that, along with many others. That means that a lot of you younger gamers nowadays are going to be missing out on a lot of older games, and especially like great games that did help shape the industry into what it is today. So this is like, I'd like to say this is a matter of like legacy. Sony is pretty much dumping out their freaking legacy here, without any like form or ideas for preservation. So that sort of motivates me to try to play older games, which, yeah, it leads me to what I'm planning to do with this channel. Is I'll try playing some older games that a lot of you guys are probably going to be missing out on now, because I do want to give exposure to a lot of like younger gamers towards like what was good during like the time I grew up with and what I grew up with. So yeah, it's a really shitty thing. Like, it's a real shame. The only other alternative to play any of these older games now will be through pirating and emulation, which are not a lot of people are familiar with emulating, and piracy is, well, technically a bit of a gray area, but this is why piracy and emulation happens. It's because of decisions like this that companies like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo make, where they just disregard a lot of like older games. And the funny thing is, they don't like it. They get pissed off with us, the consumers, about it, but at the end of the day, it's really hypocritical because it's their fault that this happens. If they spent more time and effort trying to make this more accessible, because we do want to buy these games, like a lot, like most of the people who do care do want to spend the money for some of these games and play through them. However, Sony and whatever game company isn't, they're not supporting their own like systems in that sense. So yeah, you can't really blame us for getting like any of this shit, which is kind of funny because I watched the video. There's a bit of a meme video about like Xenogears. Xenogears is a phenomenal JRPG that came out around the same time Final Fantasy VIII did. Actually, shortly before, but I digress. That game, the physical copy for that game goes up to the hundreds. Like, I remember seeing it for $200 at a local store, but it goes from 200 to, I apparently saw $1,000 on this video. And the video was titled, "Is it ethical to emulate Xenogears now?" I, for the record, downloaded Xenogears right when I heard that the PlayStation Store was going down this summer. So you could buy it for $10 off PSN right now. And I don't know if I'm gonna let's play it because it's really outside of my area of expertise. I don't really play turn-based RPGs as much just because I find them boring, to be honest. Like, I'm more of a hands-on kind of player. As you can see, playing God Eater here. But yeah, yeah. So essentially last weekend I downloaded a whole bunch of old PS1 classics to hopefully let's play some of them for you guys to see. So yeah, I guess along with the Sony's handling of the PlayStation Store, that sort of leads me to the subject of my relation with the company moving forward from here. I primarily grew up a PlayStation kid. Like, my family's owned the PS1 to like current one, well, with the exception of like PS5 right here. But how I got the PlayStation is actually more so something that my older sister and I shared. We got our PS1 from a cousin who gave it to us with Final Fantasy VIII. So my sister primarily played it at first. I started my gaming days with a PC in my dad's basement. The PC had Midtown Madness and Test Drive 5, so I played racing games when I first started. So there's a little bit about me and how I started gaming. And from there, we just bought, a little distracted there. We bought like PlayStation from there on after we sort of got more familiar with the console. So played all sorts of the big names that you've probably heard of on the original PlayStation. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here, but yeah, essentially with Sony's handling of this whole PlayStation Network store deal and past issues like video game censorship, which is another subject that's going to be on its own, because I'll get into it on like another video or something like that. But yeah, video game censorship, it's
nice warm-up.
Bit of a funny subject, a pretty stupid one, but I'll talk about that in another video another time. So yeah, the whole handling of classic store games, older games, video game censorship, as well as the whole PS5 situation, because those things are hard to find right now. Like, no thanks to fucking scalpers. But yeah, I'm probably considering on playing more PC games from the future here on. Like, that's not to say I'm not gonna get a PS5 at all. Like, I'll probably get one used or something like that. But all in due time. Like, I'm steadily like working towards like not supporting Sony in the future here, with like how everything's sort of been handled. So there, I guess that's a little bit more insight for any of you guys, my friends who are asking, hey man, you're gonna buy a PS5? So that's pretty much my reasoning behind that. So yeah. And you guys are probably wondering, what the hell I'm playing here? What is this game? So this is God Eater. It's essentially Bandai Namco's Monster Hunter. And I guess to explain to some of the friends that I know that do play Monster Hunter, and you wonder, hey man, why don't you play Monster Hunter? Well, I don't play Monster Hunter because to me it just feels a little bit more slow and clumsy in comparison to God Eater. God Eater is a lot more faster paced. I prefer something faster paced. And I guess difficulty wise, it's a little bit more accessible. It's not like, it's not to say that I don't play hard games. I do play hard games, but it's just, I feel a little bit more like fulfilling playing this game. Whereas like Monster Hunter, it's a little bit trickier to solo through it and everything. I can solo through a decent bit with this game, but yeah. So that's just a bit off subject there as to like my relationship with Monster Hunter and like Monster Hunter-esque kind of games. So yeah, this is God Eater. The reason why I'm playing it, funny enough, is I was thinking of what should I play for this video update slash me rambling, and I thought God Eater was appropriate because how I got into this series was I had a friend, I have a friend, I still hang out with them, who jailbroke my PSP for me, and I installed God Eater on it. And I played God Eater with him on the PSP, and that's pretty much how I got into this series. So yeah, just the whole talk about like emulating games, especially like obscure games, because there are some games on the PlayStation Network store, like old classics that are PS1 and whatever, that are not on the digital store at all. I guess to sort of talk about one of them, and sort of ties to my childhood, is the first PlayStation 1 game that I really wanted and did finish in time was the Spider-Man game for PlayStation 1, developed by Neversoft. And Neversoft, those are the guys who did Tony Hawk Pro Skate 1 and 2. So yeah, that the original Spider-Man game for the PS1 was a pretty fun game. It's still pretty solid for what it is, and that's not on the PSN store. I suppose Ace Combat is another one, Ace Combat 2 and 3, or okay, I don't know too much about the first Ace Combat game, which is called Air Combat, but I played Ace Combat 2 and 3, which I do have the disc for 3. I did play through 2, but ages ago as a wee lad. But yeah, that was off a burnt copy of the game, because the old school ghetto method of playing PS1 games back in the day was you'd rent a game from Blockbuster and then you'd burn it and then you'd play it on your modded PS1. Although there was also the toothpick trick, apparently, where here you load in a legit PlayStation 1 game while pushing down a it was pretty much a switch or something like that, so that the console would think that the disc tray was closed, and then while the legit game was spinning on the pretty much the disc reader, you take it out and you switch it for pretty much a burnt game, and then you just close the case and the game would automatically run from there. But that's the supposed method. Like, I didn't try the toothpick method when I grew up. My family just modded our PS1. But yeah, that's a little bit about like old school gaming right there. But yeah, so God Eater I thought was a very fitting game to demo with this ramble about like obscure games and like older games, and sort of tying to like bits about legacy here. So yeah, from here on, like I'm not too sure what I'll be playing after Metal Gear Solid 3, because I know I'm not going to jump straight into the next Metal Gear game, even though my whole plan is to go through the whole entire series, but I need breaks between them. I'm not going to burn myself out. So I might choose one of the PlayStation 1 classics that I have on my PS3 here to let's play for you guys. And that's pretty much the plan here moving forward. So I'm probably going to head off to go and record more Metal Gear Solid 3 here. So I'll likely see you guys all pretty soon here. So I'll catch you guys later.